a struggle out in these streets. Did you ever struggle while homeschooling? I know I do. Let's talk about it. So hey, welcome back to my channel, His Love, Her Home, where this mom talks love, learning, and truth when it comes to homeschool and motherhood. So today, guys, we're going to talk about 5 things that I have struggled with and maybe some of you struggle with. And as I go along, leave a comment below and let me know whether you struggle with any of this as you homeschool. The biggest struggle of this new homeschool mama, and probably still for a lot of homeschool mamas out there, number 1 is doubt. And from the time you start homeschooling, you're always feeling like, am I enough? Am I good enough to teach my kids? Can I do this? Can I build a curriculum on my own? Or do I have to rely on a curriculum to do it? Do I have to follow the curriculum exactly? All of these are doubts, and this is something that has really been a big thing in my first 2 years of homeschooling. I had to learn how to focus on my home and believe in what I'm doing and believe that it is enough. What you do is enough. And sometimes why we feel doubt is because we be scrolling Instagram or we be watching YouTube and it's like, oh wow, she gets to buy so much, she gets to have so much. Everybody don't have it like that. And we have to realize that what we can get is good enough for our home, and we don't have to replicate anybody else's homeschool. And that follows right into my second thing, letting go of what everybody else is doing. This is another area of doubt, but more so to the point where we spend our money, we spend our time, we buy these things that we don't need or that we never use in our homeschool because we see somebody else using it. So letting go of what we see, helps us to focus on our home, which is why for me, I love Instagram and YouTube and all of that, but for me, I am set to a Monday to Friday. And if I post on Saturday and Sunday, it's something that I just throw up there, and it's not something that I want to do all the time. As my community grows, maybe I'll post more, maybe not, but I like to not give myself a fresh outlook on the weekends. I just don't look because I cannot, and I often have to fight that, but I cannot let what I'm seeing cause me to say, oh my gosh. Now, especially when it's like, I feel like I got all of my curriculum and I feel like I'm good for the year. And then I see something, I'm like, oh, I need to get that. No, let go of all the things that you're seeing and cater to your home. And we cannot keep up with everybody else. That's why I say, I'm going to keep saying it. You have to let go of keeping up with everybody else. Another thing, and I'm going to share my homeschool vision with you soon coming up. Another thing that it causes us to do is stray away from our vision of our homeschool. And that is something you do not want to do. Stay focused, stay on your path, and let that be your path and nobody else's. My third struggle as a new homeschool mom, number 3, is the feeling of being lost in the world of education. Now, I have no educational background. I just have an associate's in business. I went to school for court stenography. I do have a very heavy, I have medical and legal and grammar, English, a good understanding of those because of my court stenography training. Other than that, I am lost in the world of education. So this is something that really got to me a lot. And my advice for you out there is just take one thing at a time. When you're starting, you do not have to follow all the homeschool styles, Charlotte Mason and classical and, Waldorf, or am I saying that right? I don't know, but you know what I mean. There's so many styles out there that you can just, traditional. And, we get so caught up in being like, oh, well, what if I want to do this? Or, oh, if I want to do that. Like, I love Charlotte Mason, but I'm not really into so much of the side of doing so much poetry and art study and all of that stuff in my home. But I do love, wanting to appreciate God's nature. Like, I love that part of it. So, don't get caught up in all of the homeschool styles. Learn about them, do a little bit here and there. Take a little bit from each, those that fall in love with a certain style, that is awesome and that is beautiful. For me, I like to grab a little bit from here and there and just cater to my home. So yes, I was lost in the world of education when I first started. I was like, what is this? What is that? What is this? What is that? All I knew was public school. And I'm telling you, when I started reading, which is why I love to read all things homeschool. So, that's just me. Some people don't want to read about it, don't care. But I love reading about all things homeschool. And it's a beautiful world when it comes to, homeschool education and what you physically can give your kids. And what style of learning and how they learn and all of that. It's so beautiful. It was a struggle. Now I don't struggle with it, but yeah, that's definitely something. If you feel like you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know where to go, left, right, it's probably because you're struggling with the world of education and all that it entails. Number 4 is getting caught up in all the beautiful curriculum. And I'm not going to talk much about this, but I'm sure you all understand when you first start homeschooling, you want the big box curriculums, you want all the books, you want all of this. And the one thing I can say is before you go and buy, make sure that what your child is getting is something that you want them to get. Do not get caught up in the beautiful curriculum. Do not make you have to work harder to, scrape up all your pennies to get this curriculum. And then next thing you know, you get the curriculum and it doesn't work in your homeschool. So do not choose by beauty of what the homeschool curriculums look like. Don't do that. My last struggle as a new homeschool mom is definitely the days of feeling, number 5, y'all, quitting. I, not so much in my second year homeschooling, but in my first year homeschooling, I was like, you're about to go back right now. And at this point too, a lot of people are deciding at this point because COVID is still here, but it's just something we're accepting and you wear the mask or whatever. And a lot of people are, saying, I'm sending my kids back. So, and that's your personal choice, whatever you want to do. But I feel like this is very beneficial for my home, my kids' attitudes, their character, just their relationship with God. It has been more of a blessing in those areas for me to even compare it to the bad days that I have had so far in homeschooling. So yes, I've had the feeling of wanting to quit. Sure, everybody has. We all have bad days. Yes, it's okay though. And we're going to move on and we're going to keep going. I know I am. So these are the 5 things that I have struggled with as a new homeschool mom. Let me know in the comments what you have struggled with or are still struggling with as a new homeschool mom. So that is all I have for you today, and I will see you next time.